What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today I'm excited to talk about ESPN NFL 2K5. Many consider this the greatest football game ever for various reasons, for the presentation, the gameplay, and how sim-like it was. And I'm ashamed to say it, I never put a lot of time into this game back in the day. I was so EA Sports heavy, I guess. But that's about to change because I want to fully invest into this game. My time, my heart, all that good stuff. I want to fall in love with it like I have with NCAA Football 06. So this video is going to cover two things. One, you're going to see something brand new here. Notice how brand new presentation, main menu, and that's because this is the NFL 2K23 mod that just came out. So the first part of this video, we're going to talk about the mod, what it has, and then on the back end, I want to talk about some things I really want to do with this game. So let's start off with the mod itself. Here is like the main screen. You press start, and we're going to go to game modes, and I'm going to show you the website. It is NFL2KMod.com. I will have a link in the description below, and I don't know if it's just one guy or a bunch of guys who have done this, but they have done an amazing job with this. Now, they've done a really good job of walking you through how to set everything up. Like for me, I play on a PC. You select that, and you can download everything you need. You can watch the video tutorial, which is really good. And just the amount of stuff they've done in here is really neat. The biggest thing, I guess, is the 4K everything. You're going to see here in a little bit. We're going to go into an exhibition game, and I'm going to show you how pretty this all looks. But everything is in 4K, just insane. And you got different broadcasts, CBS, ESPN, Fox, NBC, and those are just a little extra mods built into it. Cyber faces, complete overhaul of star players, elevates the realism to a level never seen before in NFL 2K. And it's got other smaller mods as well, which is really cool. It pretty much refers to these broadcasts. Uniforms and fields. This is what we're really going to look at, the rosters especially, and what a couple of the uniforms looks like. So again, I will have a link in the description below on that. Now, the next thing I want to show you is what came with the mod. We're going to go over to options. We're going to go over to load. Select load, and I'm going to click yes. And here's what came with the mod. A couple of roster files. You got this one, and you got this one. I know if it's just two separate guys who've done roster files. They're a little bit different in their own way, just different ratings changes and such like that. Once I get into doing a franchise, I'll just pick one and just kind of roll with it. But it came with two roster files, and it also came with a franchise file. I don't know why it done that. I'm sure there's an explanation for it. Of course, you can start a franchise from scratch with this stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to select one of the roster files, and we're going to look at some of the rosters. So let's go over to features, roster manager, team roster, and out of the gate, here's the San Francisco 49ers, and we got big Jimmy Garoppolo. Really cool. So when you go to the all positions, I was going to show you everything's just updated. It's just really neat. You go to, for example, the Bengals. I'm a big Cincinnati Bengals fan. There's Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and there's big Joe Mixon. Here's the Bills, arguably the best team playing at the moment. Josh Allen, maybe the best quarterback going this season at least. Stephon Diggs. Then you got big Von Miller. All of this is updated and ready to go for you to do your thing. And what I thought was really cool is they even added the player images. Just a lot of love and care went into this, so it just kind of makes you giddy. So what we're going to do now is I am going to go into an exhibition game. We're going to go to quick game, and let's select, let's go with the, how about the Rams? Because I wanted to show you the Rams because they've also updated stadiums, which is really neat. We can go up against, I don't know, I don't think it really matters. Let's go up against, how about the yeah, let's just go up against the Ravens. And we're going to go to the exhibition mode, and we're just going to look at a couple different things.
Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Coming up on ESPN, we'll see the newest member of the 10,000-yard receiving club, wideout Jimmy Smith, who went over the mark last December. We'll see him work his magic here. Ravens, Rams, now.
While the teams are out on the field getting loose, the fans are filing in and finding their seats for the game. Hi there, everybody. I'm Dan Stevens, and welcome to the Edward Jones Dome. My friend and colleague Peter O'Keefe is beside me, Peter, this game features what could be an intriguing matchup between a talented tight end and a hard-nosed, tough, strong safety.
No kidding, Dan. It may not be on the casual fan's radar, but I'm interested to see who comes out on top here. Number 89 is a talented and imposing receiver. This guy's ripped. All that muscle helps him break a tackle or two when he needs to. It should be one heck of a matchup. It'll be interesting to see who gets the upper hand.
Well, all right, Peter, we'll keep our eye on him as the game progresses, but first, the coin toss.
So I hope you enjoyed the presentation part. I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted you to kind of soak that in, just the visuals and, the presentation itself. I just thought that was really neat. We're going to do the coin toss, and once that's done, I'm going to go to a play, and then we're going to look at different things. Let's go ahead and just select something here. Defend the south goal. That's fine. Okay, so now that we went through the presentation, I just want to show you how pretty that looked. And what we can do is I just went ahead straight to the first play, and it's just insane, these graphics. I'm just not going to lie. I mean, there is Lamar Jackson in all his glory. And then there is, I'm sure Darnold's in there as well, or Aaron Donald. Yeah, he's over here. If I can put my cursor on him, there he is. Just insane how good all of this looks. I just think it's just really neat. It just adds a whole lot to the game. To a game, honestly, that's apparently just plays incredible, and I can't wait to really dive into it. But I just wanted to show you some of the graphics of it before we talk about the rest of what I wanted to do with the game. Now let's talk about some things I want to do with the game. Of course, I will eventually do multiple franchises. I'm going to treat it no different than 06. I'm going to fall in love with it. Do a little bit of everything. They got the ESPN 25th anniversary. We got a bunch of different games. You got first-person football. I can do videos on that. Of course, practice mode. I'm going to do a ton with it. So that will come in time. Now, what it's going to take me to get used to is the gameplay itself. So what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to do a lot of exhibition games, just a few, just to kind of get my feet wet until I can figure out what I want to do with the difficulty. I'm going to keep everything, I'm not going to touch the sliders. That's not my thing. Everybody kind of knows that. I want to learn the game itself, and I'm going to just kind of keep everything as is, and we will just kind of go from there. And once I kind of get my feet wet with a few games, and then what I can do is head over into franchise mode, and then we can just really take off from there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is if you go over to features, go to roster manager, you got manage playbooks, and I didn't know this was in the game, and I think this is really neat. You can create your own playbooks. Now, you could have up to 2 slots. We're going to go to book 1, and we can go to a team book, and we can just select one to work off of. We can go off with the Indianapolis Colts. We can just name it. And from here, we can manage the playbook. And here is the entire book. Now, this is just really neat. Now, I can go in here and I can add plays. I can delete plays. And I can really make a playbook my own. So, me being a playbook nut, I'm just giddy over all of this stuff. So, I think this is just really cool. I can go in here and create anything I want to, basically from scratch. Now, what I think is interesting about this setup is your defensive playbook is also tied with your offensive playbook. You see up here it says offense. Well, I can hit R1 and go to defense, and that is part of the playbook itself. So you kind of have to be, I guess, careful with your formations, because you can see here the game lets you have up to 50 formations. If I'm reading that correctly, I guess that's correct. And up to 270 plays. So there's a lot of ways to go with it. You could be a very big formation nut, or you can be just honed down to just a few formations, and you can really put down a ton of different plays. Now, I'll go ahead and say this. Now, when you go to offense, for example, the doubles formation, this is essentially a slot NCAA football 06. A lot of these playbooks, I'll go ahead and tell you now, are very unique. Not so much in formations. I mean, they're different, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of plays that are just in one particular playbook, which I just find fascinating. So I can't tell you how many playbooks there are. So because of that, I was going to mention the website. You go over to my website, playbookgamer.com, and you go to game info, and I am going to add, you see under here, other, you go to ESPN NFL 2K5. I am going to add the playbooks right here. I've already started on this. I've got 3 of them captured. Once I get all 32 plus, I'm going to put them on here. That way you can view them as you wish. Now, I got a few other things down here, too. You notice where it says manuals and guides, game manual, play terms, play art, jargon. That's under the reference guide. Now, you may be asking, what is all of this? Well, we know what the game manual is, but what about this reference guide? Well, if you go back to the game, we can bounce out of here. I want to discard the playbook, and you can go to options or go to extras and game manual. The entire manual for the game is in the game, which is really cool. And guess what? I have every bit of this manual along with this reference guide in the on the website, which is really neat. So you go back over to the website, you go to game manual, and there it is. There's the table of contents, and I took a picture of every single one of these pages. Now, this game manual is 200 pages long, but you can use this table of contents, go to the practice section, and boom, there it is. You can just learn about anything you want to about the game. And of course, at the bottom right, you can hit this up arrow, and it takes you back to the very top of the page. So I got the entire game manual on the site, and I also have the reference guide, play terms, play art, jargon, and tips. It's all right there for you. I wanted to use that as my own reference, so it just made sense to put it on the site for everybody to enjoy. Just really neat. And again, I will put more stuff on this page, including, I actually have the links already. I got the NFL 2K23 mod. You click on that, it goes to the site we just looked at. It also have the PS2 ISO file that will take you over to Vim's layer. This is where you can get your PlayStation 2 ISO files. Everything you can imagine is right here. And then I also put like a little shop on Amazon. If you can't find the game yourself, if you're a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox guy and you can't find it, Amazon will at least probably have it, but there are other sites that probably have it for cheaper. So I wanted to point that out. But anyway, I think this is just really cool, and that's all I was going to do with this video, is just cover the mod and cover a little bit what I want to do with the game. I just can't wait. So between my NCAA Football 06 content and this game, I should have more fun for years to come, because apparently this game is as deep as it gets, and I just can't wait to get into it. I'm super excited to finally find a NFL game that I can really sink my teeth into, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.